here we are again. As you can see on the board, that's the overview of the innovation process. Okay. So we have discussed so far about technology, okay, about knowledge, about networks, clusters, market. Okay. So you can see all that in that figure. On one hand, we have creative individuals. We have talked about people, okay, about technological developments that lead to knowledge outputs. Okay. We also have firms, architecture, and external linkages. We talked about relationships and collaborations and competition. So we have societal changes and market needs also lead to demand and opportunities. Okay. It's the market pool. And at the end we have firms operating functions and activities. Okay. What is this? This can be products, services, processes, and so on. So firms develop knowledge, develop processes, and develop products. Okay. So innovation is about not only technology, not only people, but also about networks, collaborations. Later on we'll discuss about open innovation, which is exactly that. Then again, we have the interaction between development activities and design environment. So we have the spectrum of design activities. Okay, we have engineering, which is mechanical, electronics, chemical, anything that's related to manufacturing. Okay. We also have product. We have industrial design, human factors, required quality, and so on. And then we have fashion, market, societal changes. We have style. Okay. We also have consumer expectations. Okay. People and we as customers, as consumers, we have some expectations from companies. Okay. So then again we have the knowledge inputs that leading to product development. Okay. On one hand. On the other hand we have the knowledge inputs leading to again. So we have, yes, inputs, knowledge inputs leading to product development. And then we have the different levels. Okay? In the middle we have research, knowledge, and experience built up over time. That's the knowledge asset, what we call. That enables the organization to inform. Okay? And develop engineering solutions, form concepts, and design trends. Okay? Where do you think iPhone stands at? Is it an engineering solution? Is it a concept? Is it a trend?
Trend.
Okay. Okay, engineering solution is a functional design. So we're talking about function. Cost effectiveness. Okay, but we can say that iPhone's design is functional, isn't it? That's the main advantage of iPhone. It's easy to use, isn't it? It is also a concept. It comes in different colors, has different graphics, you can use different types of applications and so on. Okay? And it's also ergonomic. And it's also a trend. Everybody has it. It is fashion, it is stylish, okay? And packaging also. The design and the packaging comes along. Okay. So I would say that products usually are not just one of it. They include, must be functional, must be a good concept, but meet the need of the market. Okay. It also introduce some trend and develop some trend. Okay? And if you combine all that, then we come to product development. Then again, we have product innovation, okay? The development of a new or improved product. We have process innovation, which is the development of a new process, okay? That actually improves the experience of the customer or improves some aspects of the product and so on. Okay? We have organizational innovation, a new venture division, new business model, or new internal communication system. Okay? We have management innovation, for example, different management systems that companies use, TQM, or business process reengineering and so on. Okay? MIS, I'm sure you all know about management information systems. We have production innovation, we have quality circles, just in time, the Japanese system, new production planning software, MRP, okay, and so on. We have marketing innovation, the commercial aspect of innovation. New sales approach, for example, direct marketing, or establishing a network of different types of shops around the city to be in your approach. And we have service innovation, internet-based, for example, services. Okay? You can buy anything or almost anything online. At some point you will have to develop your own conceptual framework. This is a good example of the conceptual framework of innovation. Okay? It's a combination of different concepts that come together, okay, and illustrated by a framework. So, the framework for innovation is, on one hand, we have the creation of new knowledge, as we said, dominated by universities, okay, or science-based organizations. We've talked about the quadruple helix, for example. We have universities and industries collaborating together. So we have science and technology based. Okay, so we start with that. What do we have next? We have technology development, okay, dominated by firms. Firms usually develop technology, okay, in collaboration with universities many times, or research centers. Is that correct? So we have technological developments next, and those two lead to meeting a need, developing a product, developing a service, okay, in order to meet a need. That need might be internal, a new improved process, for example, that would make the organization more efficient, more productive. Okay? That is also a need. It's not only consumers' needs. Okay? So we have consumers express their needs and wants through the consumption of products, so needs of the market. That process that might be improved will also help and assist the company to develop a more efficient, more cheap, more better quality product, for example. Previous time we talked about the technology push and market pull. Now you can see two linear models of innovation. First, with the technology push, okay, we have the research and development unit within the organization. Okay, they do research. Then again, we have the manufacturing, the production of the outcome of the research. Okay, So research and development comes with a new concept. Okay. I'm sure you remember the difference between idea and concept. Okay. Idea is a light bulb. Okay. But concept is the light bulb with all the attributes, including the process. Okay. Concept. And we have the idea, and we want and we know how to develop that idea further. So that's the concept. So from the concept, then we go to the manufacturing process. Okay? And from the manufacturing process, we have the final outcome. And what do we do with that? We push that. That's why it's called technology push. We push what we have created to the market, to the final user. Okay? On the other hand, we have market pull. Market pull does not start with R&D. It starts with exploring what the market needs. So we pull ideas, we pull insights from the market. Okay? Then we're trying to make those ideas a concept. So the marketing actually gets those ideas from the market. Okay? And then it gives those ideas to the R&D department to see which and how many of those ideas are actually viable and can be concepts, and it can be further explored and exploited. And then again we have the manufacturing of those concepts that end up to the final user. Any questions about it?
But I think even though the second market could start from marketing, but after manufacturing this, I still see a big role of marketing.
Again,
yeah, again,
push.
Yeah, pushing you, because that's not automatically come when you have a product that the buyer will come and buy. Yeah.
That's correct. That's correct. After manufacturing, we also have marketing.
Yeah.
To push. Yes. Okay. We also have the simultaneous coupling model. Okay, we have R&D, manufacturers, and marketing working collaboratively, not independently. That's the difference from the previous model that was linear. Okay? And then we have all those concepts brought together. We have, on one hand, market pull and technology push. We have latest science and technology. Okay? On the other hand, we have needs in society in the marketplace. And in between, we have the process. Okay, we have the idea, we have the R&D, we have manufacturing, marketing, that all lead to the final offering. Okay? And those arrows, in fact, show the interactions between, for example, the latest technology and the production process. Okay? And also the market needs with the production process. It's what we were describing before. Okay? So whether we start from here or from here, the result is more or less the same. Okay? Of course, the value is different, but the result is the same. And some examples here. For example, in the 50s we had technology push, we had industrial revolution. So we had technology push. Simple linear sequential processes, not parallel. Okay? Emphasis on research and development. And the market back then was the recipient. Okay? And in fact, consumers back then, 16, 17 years ago, because they were not aware of technology, they didn't also know what to expect. They didn't have that knowledge that we have today, and we push companies to develop. In the 70s, we had the exact opposite. Simple, again, linear processes, but the emphasis on marketing. So it was then that the marketing actually started to develop. Okay, the market is the source of directing R&D. And R&D has a reactive role, okay, not a proactive. That's a difference. In the 50s, we have a proactive role of R&D, and in the 70s, we have a reactive role of R&D. And then again, late 70s, we had the dominant design, okay? An innovation system that goes through the 3 stages before actually a dominant design emerges. Is the simple process. In the 80s, early 80s, we have the coupling model, that all functions collaborate together within the firm. Late 80s and early 90s, we have the interactive model, combinations of push and pull. Mid-90s, we have organizational innovation. Some companies actually change their business model. Okay, recognition of the role of the firm to embed knowledge in order to influence innovation. Okay? For example, combine and integrate different types of insights from customers, from suppliers. You know the 5 forces of Porter. We have competition with suppliers, with customers. So we gain insights from all of them, okay, in order to develop innovation, to create innovation. Late 90s, we have the network model, emphasis on knowledge accumulation and external linkages with different types of partners. We involve suppliers into our system, into our process. In 2000, we have open innovation. This emphasizes on further externalization of the innovation process, as Cesbro mentioned, in terms of linkages with knowledge inputs and collaborations, okay, that aim to exploit knowledge outputs. Okay. So that was 10 years ago, 13 years ago. What do we have now? We're not still, of course we have open innovation, of course we have the network model, it still works, but we have something more than that. What do we have?
Now we hear more and more of green innovation.
Okay. That's important. We talked about the quintuple helix, which involves actually the environment into the system. Okay. This is where are we now? And I would say that, especially in the West, I wouldn't say that they're more sensitive about the environment, but I would say that they promote the quadruple helix more than in the eastern part of the world. I mean, university-industry collaborations work. A very good example is Korea, for example, that also there they have established strong relationships between industry and universities. For example, the university actually is sponsored by Samsung. So it's that's a very good example of university-industry collaboration. And in some cases, we also have the governments play a role and create the right framework for those collaborations to flourish. Right? So if we would ask to pick a title, for example, in the 90s we have network model, in 2000s we have open innovation. How we could actually title this era?
Sustainable.
Okay. Yes, it's very. That's indeed a very good term. Yes. Sustainable innovation. Okay? We're not seeking. Companies do not seek short-term gains, short-term profits. Okay? The competition is very hard. It's very fierce. So they're trying to develop competitive advantages that would actually sustain. Again,
how about future? Like, if like in this era is sustained, how about like future beyond?
We're talking about sustainable innovations. So it's not about today. It's about tomorrow also.
And how about like the next generation, like 20 years later?
Yes.
Can you predict like what is gonna be like?
Actually, last year we had this professor from the U.S., Professor Harao, and he runs what he does was he runs a website which gets a lot of input on future, forecasting the future in technology development. And his summary or his what he said was, it will be more on innovation, on knowledge-based innovation. It will be innovation-based or driven by knowledge.
So in the past already focused on the knowledge, right? Because in your slide, in the past 1990 kind of that is still, it's already talk about the knowledge accumulation, external linkage. So it already happened.
Yes, of course, it is already there, and especially open innovation, actually, as you can see, it's about knowledge input and knowledge output. So bringing together different type of stakeholders to get different knowledge inputs and have them all together and collaborate in order to develop knowledge outputs. So to answer your question about 20 years from now, I would say that still
Sustainable.
sustainable, but sustainable that would not only have an effect on organizational sustainability. I think now we are talking more about organizational sustainability. In a few years from now, we'll talk about more about environmental sustainability. Because in some parts of the world, they don't actually do much about the environment. China, for example, does not do much about the environment. So we're talking about organizational sustainability and enterprise excellence now, today. In a few years, we'll talk about more the environmental. In 5 years, 10 years, we'll talk more about environmental. And if you ask my opinion, in 20 years, we'll talk about more about life quality that is defined not by products, but by a system. For example, better work conditions. Okay. More sustainable economies, not about sustainable enterprises. Okay. And economies that would be based on knowledge and not on profits. This is the situation now.
I think in the Western world, they think about the sustainability because they already get rich. Because it's already proved in the bell curve that some say that if the GDP of the country goes up, at the first stage they will pollute a lot of like environmental. So in the United States or in the EU, like last century, they already pollute a lot of things because industrialization.
Yes.
So
exactly.
now they already get rich, so they go to that way.
I would say yes, you're correct, but not in all of the Western countries. countries.
That's
There
right.
are, for example, the Scandinavian model, which is the superior
that's
model.
Mhm.
Okay, that works. They talk about sustainable societies already.
Yeah.
But in average, the world does not talk about sustainable economies and
That's true.
sustainable
Particularly
societies.
in Asia.
So in Scandinavian countries, we can say that they are 10 years ahead.
Yeah, that's true.
Okay, but the African countries are 50 years back. So if we want to take the average, we would say that in 10 years, in 20 years, more scientists, academics, and practitioners will talk more and act more on sustainable societies and economies that would be based on knowledge.
In your view, now I'm just wondering, because you talked about developed countries, least developed countries. From your view, how many years, how long does it take for the developed countries to transfer knowledge and innovation to developing countries or least developed countries?
There is a big discussion, there's a big debate in the West about that. And the fact is that many Western companies and institutions actually have started to worry about how Asia develops and operates. Because what they have done, they tricked, in a way, many Western companies, they exploited developing countries. And what they have done actually, because, for example, countries in Africa or in Asia, the labor cost was low. So they established plants in Asia in order to develop cheaper products, okay? So have bigger profit margin. But that led Asians to do reverse engineering. So to have the ability to get the know-how, get the knowledge, and develop cheaper.
Me too.
Yes. Products. There is a problem here because there is the competition. 10 and 20 years ago, there were competition between Western companies. Now there is competition between Western companies and between East and Western companies. Do you see? So what they're trying to do now is to the radical innovations, keep them in-house.
I think another thing is because in the Western world, economic slowdown. So a lot of like a rich country in Asia that emerging, particularly like China, brought the share. Like IBM, they already bought the Lenovo part or Volvo in Scandinavia. So they learned the know-how by like doing M&A. So in Asia now, I think they develop the innovation by like a merger and acquisition way as well.
Yeah, but still there is that risk that, for example, yesterday I was in a meeting with European and Asian partners to discuss more about. You were there.
Yes.
And you were there too.
Yes.
Yeah.
You were there too.
Yeah.
Me too.
Yes.
Okay. They said that the goal of the Thai government was to increase our
And the expenditure on
to
GDP.
1%.
To 1%. Yeah.
This is the target, but it's still very low, isn't it?
Yes, that's true.
Yes.
So if you, that's the question, that's the answer actually to your question. And I was reading an interview of Scandinavian minister yesterday also. Asian countries need to invest more on education, on skills development, on culture, on critical thinking. Because you asked my opinion. That will result, and that needs time to do. I mean, it's not tomorrow I invest and I have the result the other day. It's about new generations that need to learn how to think and develop innovations of their own, not based on what other people have thought.
And I think coming back to this point, I think we cannot generalize the development, of nation, from not so innovative to very innovative. Because if we look back 30 years ago, Thailand, Taiwan, Korea, we were just about the same, and we were ahead of Malaysia. And
Ahead of Korea.
ahead of Singapore, but now they are up there. Here, so I mean, time frame does not help. Of course, for them, so many good things happen that make it possible for them to be where they are. But for us, we have so many bad things, including corruption. So
we talked about government.
Yeah.
We talked about the dynamics of different parts of the system. And government is actually, if you review the history of Thailand, I would say the government is the major obstacle.
yeah, yes, exactly. I mean, I think our people are not stupid, not worse than Korean or Taiwan or Singaporean or Malaysian, I don't think we are.
But if you take the Singaporean and the Korean example, you would see, of course, in Singapore it's much easier because there are a few thousand people. It's not the same. But if you take those two examples, you will see that they invested a lot in education, in excellence, in improving quality of life.
Yeah, that's true.
If you can live and you don't have everyday concerns of how to live and how to struggling with your life, you cannot be innovative. That's the difference.
That's why we are here. That's why we are here. Struggling. Education.
Education.
Still suffering.
Transform the struggling.
I would say that the government needs to do more and invest more in education. That would be a first step. And exploit the resources that you have, people, the physical resources, the environmental resources also, the geographical location. Okay, we have traditional technology, okay, on one hand. You see the arrow. Performance gets time. We have technology. We have the customer's demand for performance. Okay. For example, okay, traditional technology. You have iPhone 1. Who would buy?
iPhone 1.
Yes. Who would buy now iPhone 1?
Now.
No one. Okay.
No.
So there is a customer demand for better performance. That's why you wouldn't buy, right? Okay. And in the middle comes the disruptive innovation that in fact uses technology, combines technology and the needs of the market to come with something radical. Okay? And a few explanations about how some companies succeed. Apple used to have an innovative CEO. Google has a scientific freedom for employees. Okay? That's very creative for Google. It works well. Samsung, on the other hand, has speed of product development. They develop products and they push products to the market so fast. We have so many different editions of new galaxies. 10 different or 15 different editions of galaxies. Okay? IBM again shared patents with collaborators, which was not the case with IBM and Apple in the 80s, back in the 80s. That's why IBM succeeds. BMW has the design, sportive design, okay? Not only BMW, other brands have also. Okay, Starbucks, what they have? Sorry?
Varieties of one product.
They understand, actually, or they aim to understand what the customers need to develop product that will meet customer needs, and they have also invested in fair trade. You know what fair trade is, right? Fair trade. Yes.
Fair trade.
You don't take this, you take good care of the people who supply you
the full supply chain.
Cut margin of supplier.
For example, they don't exploit the farmers in Starbucks. They pay farmers a decent price for their products so they can develop quality products.
Yeah.
So
Actually, they go as far as giving education on plant cultivation, on the using of fertilizer or insecticide,
They
to
have
make sure
projects
they
to
have.
help farmers to have better quality of life. They have their children so that they make profit, but on the other hand, they take good care of the people who provide them with the ingredients and materials.
The ideal world.
They invest in return.
In the real world, totally.
They also invest in partnerships with communities.
But they buy it from factory.
And we have Toyota, I'm sure in Thailand, because you have Toyota collaborates with suppliers.
Because they're not doing more than
You have Toyota plants here.
Yes, and they have the first tier supplier, second tier, third tier, and it's normally the first tier who work with them on a lot of innovation, from windshield to fabric to paint to all the gadget or electric circuit.
I'm sure you can understand the last example very well in Thailand because Toyota collaborates with suppliers. Okay, some studies that are important, we will review that very quickly. Some studies of innovation management that are important. Okay, of course there are more. There are some more updated. The one that I give you. Okay, so for example, back in 1974, we had the success and failure factors of innovation. Okay, we also had the 5 major industry level cases. Okay, from MIT studies. And we also had a good research review of success and failure factors again. That's an important circle. We will use that circle again and again. So we have entrepreneurship in the middle. Okay? We start. Okay, let's start with technological research. Technological research leads, let's say, to product creation. Okay? And we have here, we have the integrated engineering circle. Okay? Upright. Product creation again leads to market transitions. You can you think of an example, of a good example? That product creation has led to market transition. iPhone. Before iPhone, we had Nokia. Okay, everybody used to have a Nokia. But a new product transformed the market from just phones. Then we used to have smartphones. Okay? And then we have differentiated service circle. Okay? For example, with a Nokia you could just talk and text. With an iPhone you can do everything. Okay? Even start the washing machine. And then again, for market transition, we reached scientific exploration, having social and behavioral sciences cycles. Okay? Establishing that cycle. And then again, from scientific exploration, we came to discuss about technological research, considering natural and life resources. Okay? So, top right we have technological functions, from R&D to product creation. We have technological functions. Bottom right we have customer value. Okay? Bottom left we have social insights. Okay? From the social and behavioral cycles. And up left we have technical capabilities, because we combine science with technology. Okay. That's the innovation circle with interconnected cycles. Then, do you have any questions about that? I would say, I wouldn't ask you to remember that as it is, but I would ask you to understand it. I wouldn't ask you to remember by heart. Okay? Any questions about that?
The product creation, the linkage between the market transition and product creation is the create more customer value.
Yes.
So it's gonna be the benefit of the product, the new product.
The new attributes of the product actually deliver customer value. And we're talking about differentiated services. So, on one hand, we have a device that you can talk and text. On the other hand, we have a device where you can talk, text, send emails, watch TV, watch videos, listen to music, and so on. Okay? It's still services. We're talking about different types of services, right? So that's why we have customer value.
From the market transition to the scientific exploration, change of social behavior.
For example, back in 2000, with the Nokia phone, you could just talk and text. Okay? Social and behavioral sciences. With an iPhone, you can post your new Facebook update every other second.
You mean the scientific exploration is the improvement out of?
Well, you can say improvement.
Yes.
What you want to understand is the social and behavioral differences that come and emerge from market transition going to scientific exploration.
To move into a bigger, newer field.
I'm talking about how a new product has led to new behaviors,
Yes.
transforming the market.
And how does that link to the? Because
Scientific exploration.
yes.
Companies use that, in fact, in order to get more insights about customers. For example, most of the companies have a Facebook page that exploit in order to get customer insights. Okay? So the data that they get from those kind of platforms, they give them to the R&D department to explore them further.
So it's for continuous improvement steps.
Yes. It's part of the evolution.
Young entrepreneurship in the middle. Is it a chance you increase the chance?
Accelerate the whole cycle? Does it mean accelerate the whole process?
Well, we have entrepreneurship in the middle. Entrepreneurship can be different terms, can be a different term of innovation. Okay? There is a linkage between entrepreneurship and innovation. You develop a new business unit. That's entrepreneurship, but it's also innovation because you develop that business unit in order to develop something new, in order to deliver something new. Okay? For example, companies that didn't have an R&D department and used to outsource the R&D function, they might create a new R&D department. So that is an entrepreneurial activity.
I look at entrepreneurship in the context of organization of people whose main preoccupation is to make money, to create business, to use resources, to use resources in such a way that you make an sustainable business and make profit along the way, and that I think is the context of entrepreneurship.
Yes, we have talked about networks. Okay, we have talked about clusters. To collaborate with others, it's not only innovation; it's an entrepreneurial activity. Maybe some companies develop businesses with partners. They don't just use the knowledge, they develop, they combine forces, and they develop a new unit, a new firm.
So that can be a process innovation.
Sure.
That can be a process innovation in a company.
I don't understand. Do you have an example?
Like to create new process, create new way to do the business.
We're not talking about process. We're talking about maybe to improve the business model, or maybe in the current business model involve and integrate other players, so you improve the business model. You remember that big figure? We had quality here, we had innovation, and we had revolution up there. You remember that? That explains actually what we're discussing now.
So entrepreneurships in sense can it be like you find a new channels, new niche, so that you invent a new business entity to like.
It's not only invention. It's not only about invention. It's about integrating, incorporating technology, market, social behaviors, resources, natural resources into one. So if you see the different cycles, you combine all those four in order to become entrepreneurial and develop a new model that will sustain and help the company grow.
But if the company develop something new or innovate something new, let's say the product innovation, but they can't sell in the market.
They cannot?
They cannot. So it's kind of a fail.
We will discuss that later.
All right.
That's the distinction between innovation and invention. Because innovation has a commercial value,
but invention
which invention does not.
Okay.
You can see here the rise and fall, and again the rise of Apple. As an example, Apple started in 1975. They launched Mac. Then it was Microsoft who asked to license the operation system, but Apple didn't accept. Then Apple refuses to license the operating system, sales fall. They develop something new which is failed. Okay, then Jobs rejoins Apple in mid-90s. They relaunch iMac. They launch iMac. Okay. And then in 2001, I think, or two, they launch iPod. And then iPhone, iPad, and iCloud, or whatever that I use. 10 years ago, we had a PDA, we had an MP3 player, we had a different stick for memory, we had a mobile phone, we had a camera, okay, and some children had a games console, okay? Now you can have it all in one. 10 years after.
Yes.
Okay. Discussion.
Additional reading. Can you forget the last one?
Actually, we don't have much time. I was planning to ask you to go first the case study. It's quite, and next time I'll ask you all to have the book, because the book has the case studies inside, so I will not have to print. So we save the environment, so we'll become more sustainable. Okay? So I will give you copies now to review. Give me some to... I have printed a lot. You had that already in the book.
No, this is for the two absences.
But it had the book.
Okay.
That's inside the book. I just printed because I didn't know how many of you will bring the book.
So you can also send us email, like the page number, or in the Moodle.
Okay. Just next time have the book with you. I will upload everything on Moodle. Take a few minutes to read. So in the first part there is the case, and in the second part is the question. Okay. And we will discuss about those 5 questions. 5 minutes are enough to review.
say.
Is it okay? Okay, so the first question is how the iPod is actually helping Apple to achieve increased sales of its range of micropersonal computers. What do you think?
Yeah.
Using this, we can use that also.
iPod is a kind of like starter, and then Mac is kind of like a main course. So when people love iPod, they love brand, then they become fan club. They like design. When they think about how they use the iPod, they think about it's not that hard to use that. So they decide a bit, go further to buy more product from this brand.
That is very much correct indeed. It is. It is in fact because when iPod was launched, the market shares of Apple was very limited. And that's what happened. Many young people bought iPod. It was a revolution back then. It was something innovative. And that got them familiar with how actually Apple products look like, function, and so on. So many of them consider to buy a Mac, an iMac, or any other product. So yeah, that is very much correct because the iPod was the introduction of
Not really. Actually, at that time, I still remember the Mac machine was something like for a serious user for graphic things, and it's very expensive. And then when Steve Jobs came back and rejoined Apple, his idea on iMac was to make it personal again. So he redesigned the Mac machine to that little cube there. So this is quite attractive. And then he also launched the iPod as a listening machine. I agree with him that the brand itself induced the sales of the iPad. People just look back there, but it's not. If he was still keeping the Mac machine like that,
it wouldn't work.
It wouldn't work.
Okay. So maybe they customized again.
Yes.
They adjusted what they were offering to current needs.
Yes.
Okay. So it's the combination of both
Right.
that actually made that product succeed. Okay. Good. Any other comments on that question?
The compatibility of those two products is complement each other. Like for example, if you want to download iTunes or even the iPod that have like the picture, the photo feature, then you can interchangeable like between those two devices.
I think that's the main advantage of Apple, the compatibility between devices. Between iPad, iPhone, iMac. Yeah. What are the potential benefits and limitations of licensing the iPod software to other MP3 manufacturers?
It should benefit. I think something possible.
Because as you can see in this graph, back in 1988, Microsoft launched Windows, and a few years later, Apple refused to license its operating system. So the sales fall. Sales fell because actually they didn't collaborate with direct example. How would it work with iPod?
I think if they license the iPod, they will, of course, they will be able to expand the sales, the reach of the sales, but then they also lose the exclusivity and maybe also once that is licensed, everybody can have it, then maybe it's easier for other people to join or to come and develop something similar to the iPod. So by keeping the technology to themselves, they ensure that it is exclusive and they alone can develop this thing.
So in that case, we will talk about competition, collaboration, competition at the same
Yes.
time.
Yes.
I think at that the first time that they launched, they become the majority of like 80% market share in this new thing, because that time is already linked for the market. So they didn't think about that, why they need to do that to other manufacturers, because now they already big. Yeah. So I think instead of thinking about to give the license to other manufacturers, they think about to get into the new market. That the new market, like other country, or kind of that expand this product to other market instead of like give the license to manufacturer.
I compare this case with Sony. One Sony, like when you want to use their device, you have to have particular like their own made like
Memory
brand.
stick.
Yeah, all the memory sticks, all the camera, everything you have to use like Sony. Whereas like other products, they seem to be more, you give you more convenient. You can use the charger of any other brand. Then maybe the perception of the customer.
No, I think maybe they have its company policy. Actually, Sony have some fantastic products which fail eventually because of that policy, I think.
Yeah.
If you remember the cassette tape, Beta and VHS, actually I personally like the Beta better, the quality. Yeah, Beta, VHS, Beta format and VHS format. The Beta is more compact and I think the quality is better. But Sony and Sony alone has that Beta, the machine, and then the cassette you can play with. But the rest of the industry, like Philips, like Toshiba, like JVC, like Panasonic, they all join together, collaborate, and develop the VHS. So you have one brand, Beta, and then 10 brands of VHS. And then when the tape, the software, the tape, the cassette were produced, you can use VHS cassette with only VHS machine. Cannot put into the Sony Beta because it's too small. And vice versa, the Beta cassette tape you cannot put into your national Panasonic or other brands. So finally they lose out because people stay away from Beta because you can own a good machine Beta, but you cannot find the cassette. Because everybody make cassette to feed the other 10 brands and not the Sony brand alone. So not long after that they had to discontinue and leave Beta brands with their products. Yeah. But now it's the past because nobody plays the cassette tape anymore with the laser discs. The coming of the Laserdisc, and now Laserdisc is also gone.
What would you suggest in the case of Apple? Would you suggest the company to license or not?
I was looking in the other direction actually. If you're looking at the iPod is the first one who create the downloading service on the music. Then if they start license it, the potential benefits can be they can be the one
Exclusive.
Provide new line of the service on the downloading music instead of having the MP3 with a copy music that they don't generate any revenue from the music that way. That's it.
think they have licensed iTunes. Other devices can download iTunes, not only Apple, right?
Right. They have PC as well.
Yes. So they have
For free.
yeah.
So I don't know. I don't think Apple did, sell their own secrets. They just make like the downloadable contents that can be able to play on many devices already, with many software already. So they just invent some like new lifestyles and like online store or something like that. But the product itself, Apple's to keep it. Even to connect with the PC or the machine, they give the software for free so that the iPod can connect to any PC.
Okay. So if we consider that the sales of the iPod are falling, and Apple faces fierce competition from all quarters, such as Sony, Dell, and other firms, as well as mobile phone makers, Samsung, for example, who are incorporating different players into their devices. Could iPod survive if you can do the same thing with iPhone, with Galaxy, with Nexus, with whatever that is? What's the future of iPod?
In its present form and its present product attributes, I think it's difficult. And unless they develop new features, new functionalities, and make it, I don't know what that can be, can be an ITV, suppose, or whatever. Then maybe it can be interesting. But in its present form, it's outdated
Already.
Yeah, already. Other devices have superseded the iPod per se.
Maybe just the coming iWatch.
Yeah, iWatch. Yeah.
Samsung
Watch. Actually, yesterday, my friend who also went to the seminar, Mike, the German, because he's bold. Not because he has plenty of hair, because he's bold. He showed me very proudly, his Samsung Watch, and he bought it a 50% price discount because he had to buy a Samsung Galaxy something, and he already had, I don't know, 2 or 3 very new phones. I don't know why he need another one, and he bought that because he wanted a watch. At 50% of the price, and he showed me all the things he can do. He said, oh, one of the beautiful things this watch can do, if you have a bottle of wine, you take a picture of the wine, and then his watch will tell him exactly when this wine was made and from where the vineyard, etc., all the details, So he is very proud, but I don't think he drinks wine, Why bother in the first place? But it makes him look very intelligent and very like innovator, among his peers, So even though he is very old, but it makes him look very young. And he's not here. I can say everything behind his back, no problem. But I would say in front of him.
But we record that.
Everything you say will be used.
But very nice.
What you said, but I didn't know what this watch can do. It reminds me something similar with the James Bond watch.
Yeah, the James Bond watch. Yeah.
Do many things with shoot people. For example.
But actually, I read some review. I don't know whether it is the American bias or the Apple fan bias. They reviewed the watch of this Samsung, and they said in one sentence, they said Samsung is very good at selling failure. They said it's a total failure. It's maybe too small, or it may not. Maybe it's not doing what it is supposed to do, or whatever. I don't know. But from several reviews I have read, they don't rate it very highly.
Okay.
Yeah, maybe Samsung set the expectations so high. People were expecting something perfect, something great. But when they look at the real thing and play with it, maybe they say, yeah, it's not that great. So, but I think normally with product like this, you better wait until for the second, third, or fourth version.
And then you buy it at a bargain price.
And the price will be quite cheap too. Yeah? But the first one,
And new competitors will come up with similar products.
yeah, the first one is always a beta, and you are like a guinea pig, test.
And the doctor.
Yeah, but for that price and that poor quality, you get an image of the innovator, the leader, the high tech, and someone who is really very rich, can afford this sort of thing. So maybe it's worth it. I don't know.
Okay, let's move forward. If open innovation, that's a nice question. If open innovation has been so successful for other companies, such as P&G, for example, why is Apple not adopting this model of innovation? We have talked about open innovation, involving and including other parts of the system, suppliers, customers, and so on, and collaborate with them, exchange with them, gain inputs, and develop outputs. So if that system, that approach, is successful for some brands, why is it not successful for others?
No, in the case of Apple, I think it's the mindset of the management, the belief, the philosophy they have. They think they innovate something, and what they do is once they innovate, they put a patent. They have, I don't know, millions of patents. Yeah, make sure nobody can copy. Not even the look. Not the look, not the touch, not anything. And then they think they own exclusivity, and then they can sell this, and they get very good price. So in that case, why don't just do this? So I think that's the belief in doing the business, and that's why when Android, or when the Google, who is now the owner of Android, introduce something like this free Android open source, to all the phone makers, they sue left, right, and center. So I think it could work either way. You go the Apple approach, they are so rich, so you cannot argue with success. They are very successful.
Actually, there is a quote from the biography of Steve Jobs that this one quote about his viewing this innovation. He said, nobody knows innovation better than him because nobody else has ever seen this before. So he never listened to it.
I think on top of that, because not normally a company usually get the market insight from the customer, so they follow the market. But Steve Jobs tried to create the market, create the new market that the customer will like, finally will like.
So that's why they don't cooperate with others. They want to create very new products and create markets and create segments. Okay. What are the advantages and disadvantages of the Apple approach? Launching a new product only at output users first, and then the larger Microsoft Windows users second.
I would think it's easy. It is the easiest way to convert or to get market share or to get the first group of people who come in, because these are the converted. These are the people who already believe in Apple products, Apple brands. Yeah? You can go first. He wants to make sure it rings the alarm. He has
Is it work or not?
he has 3 phones set, just to make sure we don't miss the sound.
think it's hard to say about the advantages and disadvantages. But for example, nowadays, if you look at the launch of the new Apple products or their event, Samsung kind of like schedules their event quite close to the Apple event, maybe like few days before, a few days after, so that people will get to see their products first or later. They will wait. They will not buy Apple yet.
Yeah.
That's how I see it.
I agree and disagree a little bit. I don't think Samsung deliberately launch a few days before or a few days after. I think Samsung want to launch it as soon as possible. Any product they have any time, if it can be launched yesterday, they would launch it yesterday. But so for Samsung, it's a game, a racing. It's amazing, Samsung. If you look at especially not only in the mobile phone but also in TV and in some other devices, they in the mobile phones, they were the first one who come with this color screen, and many, I don't know how many million pixels. Right? They were the first one, and then after that, they launch every 3 months, new version, all the time. So I think they of course, they look at Apple as the main competitor, but if they can launch something quicker, they'll do it. They kill their staff, just to launch the product. Nah? So that is very important, because I think in this game, whoever comes first will get the advantage, and they know that, and that's why they are so quick. And that now I think maybe Sony will have to stop making television because of Samsung, because you can walk into any appliance store now for the same specifications of products. Samsung price is higher than Sony, and is even selling better than Sony. Yes.
Yeah, that's true. That's true in Thailand.
Yeah.
But in Japan, it seems like because I have seen
You went to Japan.
last year and this year I went to Japan twice time, and I look around. They know Samsung in Japan, particularly in TV. In the TV, it's kind of like maybe protect that kind of thing, so they can sell in domestic market. Probably, in my view.
Did you go to Korea then?
Maybe Samsung or
I think for number 5, it's easier to retain existing customers than gain.
Yes, actually the advantage is twofold. First one is that you gain loyal customers, the existing customers, you make them loyal. And on the other hand, if there is a time, you can use that time as a pilot testing for review and improvement.
And for me, it's good because like, if we are an Apple fanboy, right? So we always have a positive comment about them. Even the first launch, like the product has a lot of defect, I still have a pro comment, right? I say, okay, I forgive. Maybe they're going to develop in the right? Rather than with the new type of
Yes, they will be more forgiving. They can accept defects.
fanboy.
It's like a safe game, It's a safe game to make sure that it sells.
It sells.
Because if you open it wide, it may not sell, because that figure doesn't reflect, the popularity.
Okay, good. At the end of every class, we will have a few questions. Okay, those questions will be used for your QE exams.
Including this, you are referring to these questions, right?
I mean, at the end of every class,
I see.
I will tell that in Moodle.
You put it on Moodle?
Yes.
Okay,
Later
great.
today. So at the end of each class, we will have a few questions to discuss within class, like this. And I will pick some of those questions, okay, for your QE exams. Not from now we have 4, next time we will have another 4, and every time we will have 4. Okay, so I will pick
QE
some.
4.
Huh?
QE 4. No tapering. Oh, okay.
Okay. Let's discuss about them briefly. What do you think is necessary? Why do you think it's necessary to view innovation as a management process? We have marketing as a management process. We have operations as a management process. Why innovation should be also a management process?
I think long term, no company can survive without innovation. That's true.
Yes, but why needs to be an innovation, a management process?
It has to be a process.
A management.
Yeah,
Why?
yeah, but because it involves all departments in the company, not only R&D. It has to be managed because
Why?
it involves all other departments, several functions, marketing, R&D, purchasing, procurement, finance, etc. So once you have several departments working together to achieve a common goal, I think it has to be a management process.
Yes. We have discussed about knowledge so far. We have discussed about technology and customer needs. In order for all of that to bring together, you need a function, you need a unit that will incorporate all those different things together. I mean, we've talked about knowledge inputs and outputs. Okay? We've also talked about customer needs. We've also talked about technology. So instead of having 3 different departments or 4, it's good to have a management process in place where we could actually exploit all that knowledge, use that technology, and integrate the customer wants and needs. That's why it's important in very few books. Okay? How might an open innovation approach help firms?
You have lots of researchers out there, rather than having it internal. So you have varieties of ideas.
It's the sharing.
Yes.
In open innovation, it's the sharing of knowledge and
Innovation is collaborative form.
I mean, it's
Innovation.
open, yeah, but the thing is that you share information when it's in an environment that is encouraged and how exchange of information.
Okay. Yes, we need to make that clear. Open innovation does not refer only to exploiting resources. I mean, we don't collaborate with suppliers to use them or with competitors to use them. Open innovation refers to the process of exchanging ideas, of exchanging knowledge, okay, of exchanging technology. So we don't just take, we also give. And that might have some risks, because you might come in a position where you need to share some of your advantages, of your competitive advantages, which is not always good. I mean, if you collaborate with competition, with competitors, it's not always good to share all your secrets, all your advantages. So there are some risks. But usually, 50 years ago, 10 years ago, we were there. If you remember, we were there in open innovation. We have moved forward. So we're talking not only about open innovation, we're talking about incorporation with different clusters, different networks, different stakeholders, governments and so on. Okay? What's the difference between a successful innovation and an invention?
That one.
Commercial value. Commercial value.
Yeah. Yeah. Commercial value, that is. Commercial exploitation. So there needs some marketing activities, some commercial activities, some sales, some distribution in order to make an innovation. needs to deliver some customer value. Okay. The co-founder of Google said that coming up with an idea is easy, but coming up with an innovation is difficult. Why?
Innovation refers to a process. After the process, we need a result, a commercial result. But the idea maybe cannot make profit.
Okay.
Idea can be converted into a concept,
Yes?
but the concept has to go through a series of processes
Okay.
in order to reach that
Innovation.
commercial stage.
Okay. Okay, I can officially say that you're a very good student. You really got the idea, you really got the...
So
you got
no
the-
need for QE. All pass. Happy.
That's part of
Win-win
the plan.
situation.
You have to
After 3 hours, we are officially acknowledged.
Yeah.
So the first hour.
But after 3 weeks, if you ask this 4 question again, maybe.
Okay. Very good. Wait.
You're gonna put the title in Moodle again, this one.
They are not yet,
Okay.
but there will be. Okay.
Alright.
Later today, or tomorrow, tomorrow is Sunday. So 4 readings, not 12, not. I will not ask you to do anything. Okay, for next time. Because you already do a lot for research methods, right? You have assignments to do for research methods, as far as I know. And because we cooperate with Stefania, so I've given her some papers to use for you.
Oh yes, yeah, it was post
Yes.
Google already.
Yes. So I will not ask you to do something for next time. We will do everything in class, in the classroom. But if you want to do something, you can just read any and all of those papers. There are good papers, quite recent. Okay. The latest is 2010. Okay, connecting technological capabilities with market needs. That's very important because it combines market pull and technology push. Okay. There's also, we have talked about the first one, if you remember. Some of you have already reviewed that. And then again, so there are 3 new. If you want, you can just read them. I will upload them all in Moodle.
Okay.
If you have enough. Christmas is coming, so you can.
We can officially say that you are a good professor without giving them homework.
Officially, no professors, no homework.
Okay. Thank you.
But lazy Thai student.
But only in this one.
Do you have any questions about today's class? Anything about anything? About days? About the future? I don't know. Would you like to improve something? It's good. It's good for me to know so we can improve the class. Or there is in Moodle there is a form where there are some questions about how you experience class, an evaluation form, I think, or something. You can use that form, it's anonymously. Okay. And you can always share with me if you have any concern or anything about class or about something. If you want to get more material. I used a case study today, so every time we will have case studies. That would be nice. Okay. No questions? No questions. Okay. Thanks for attending.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
See you.
After
after Christmas, December.
Well, I will see you.
20th,
We don't have any other plans.
Until 20th.